Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to everyone, especially to my lecturers Encik Ferry Nasrul and my friend from class JBA 2425A. Thank you for being here today. I am Muhammad Kushairi bin Samsudin, Bachelor of Degree from UiTM Segamat. I make this video to talk about ethical dilemmas and ethical behavior. Okay, the topic I choose from ethical dilemma and unethical behavior is scam. What is scam? Scam is a term used to describe any fraudulent business or scam that take money or other goods from an unexpected person. From this topic, I choose the corporate fraud in India, case studies of Sahara and Sahara, November 14, 2014, from 7 Pillar Institute website. From this case of India, I just want to focus about Sahara case, which is Securities and Exchange Board of India versus Sahara. From this case, I just want to focus about Sahara case. On February 2014, 26, shockwave were felt through the country as the Supreme Court of India sectioned a non-bailable warrant for the arrest of Sahara India pre-war chairman Subrata Roy. This decision attracted attention for one major unexpected reasons. One would consider investor frauds worth more than 3 billion US as includes under any world's circumstance, but corporate scandal of this nature in India have lost their property to a mess, a rarity of corporate crime in India. Despite immense political pressure and the regulator body's own recent power, the Securities and Exchange Board of India managed to secure a landmark victory after 5 years battle against Sahara. Okay, for this case, I want to share with you about, first is a short story of this case, second is a facts of this case, third is my analysis of this case, number 4 is a limited or power of SEBI, number 5 is lessons I learned from this case, from Sahara case, and lastly is my conclusion of this Sahara case. Since 2009, when the Sahara Group activities first comes under the radar of SEBI, leading up to the arrest of Sahara being engaged in the aggressive regulatory conflicts. SEBI elects the Sahara Indian Real Estate Corps and Sahara Housing Investment Corps, which used optionally fully convertible debenture, illegally collect investor money. Meanwhile, Sahara denied SEBI had any jurisdictions in the matter. SEBI went to order the Sahara to issue a full refund to its investor, which was challenged by Sahara before the Securities Appellate Tribunal (SATS). When the SATS upheld SEBI order, Sahara moved to the Supreme Court in August 2012, which ordered Sahara to refund investor money by deposits it with SEBI. Sahara then declared that most of the 3.9 billion US had already been repaid to investor, save for a pastry 840 million US, which is handed over the SEBI. This was disputes by SEBI, which claimed that the detail of the investor who were to deposit the remaining monies with SEBI, and Subrata Roy skips his hearings. The Supreme Court of India issued an arrest warrant from the Sahara chief in February 2014. Amidst rumor of black money laundering and tax misuse of political connections, Sahara denied all charge and continue to defy SEBI. The regulator preserved through what the Supreme Court referred to as the ridiculous games of cats and mouse, and finally managed to pin down Sahara chief Subrata Roy in 2014. In these rare victories, SEBI not only brought Sahara to justice, but also made an excellent case for why the regulator and other like it require greatest autonomies and penalizing powers. The first facts of Sahara case is in 2008, RBI debarred Sahara India Financial Corporation from raising fresh deposits. The growth of Sahara Empire was always a mystery. Many believe it runs a Ponzi scheme by collecting funds from investors. The group needed continuous flow of fresh funds to keep it float, with RBI closing a door on the group from collecting deposits from the peoples. The groups needed a finance instrument that would be out of purview of RBI but still get access to public funds. Sahara decides to issue OFDCs, floating trust companies, which is Sahara India Real Estate Corporations and Sahara Housing Investment Corporations. It was a register of companies that needed for clear these investments vehicles. Firstly, the sheer size of issue make it a public issue. Any company seeking money from more than 50 people has to take the approvals of SEBI in doing so, in which case the company would have to all ridiculous requirements as per SEBI norms. The Sahara groups had sought money from nearly 30 million investors. Apart from the size and number of investors, another deliberate error was keeping the issue open-ended. Ideally, such as issue should be closed within 6 weeks. Sahara money-making machine could have continued had it not committed another major mistake. Sahara decided to tap the stock market to raise money through Sahara prime cities. In doing so, the companies had to file a red herrings prospectus and disclose working and financial of other groups' companies. This is when K.M. Abraham spot Cyrex and Sheiks and found that the money raised through OFCDs was camouflaged as a private placement. Abraham found out that even though the Sahara Group's companies collected money, they did not have proper records of the identity of the investor. How and to whom would they then return the monies? Even professional agencies were unable to locate the investor. The two companies, Abraham's elect, intended to rotate money between a group companies. Though the OFCD instruments were issued in the name of the two companies, checks were sought in the name of Sahara India. when SEBI issued its order to the wrongdoing of the Sahara Group in June 23, 2011, Sahara Group took the matter with the Securities Appellate Tribunals, SETS, but SETS held the SEBI finding to be correct. SETS, in its order to set what its red herring prospectus did not disclose was the facts that in information memorandum was being issued to the more than 30 million person, inviting them to describe to the OFCD and the live sketch. This concealment is indeed very significant and goes to the roots of the controversies. Sahara groups then approached the Supreme Court, but in August 2012, the Honorable Court asked the groups to repay an amount over 24,000 crore to SEBI within 90 days. The regulator will then distribute the money to bona fide investor. But suddenly Sahara says it has repaid most of the money over the last 1 year and an amount of just over 5,000 crore was pending. In the October hearing, Supreme Court had clearly hinted that it was no longer amused by the delay tactic of Sahara groups and would detain the groups officially till the payment are made. The Supreme Court bench had said the previous order not be compiled with, and that was why Roy and the director were being summoned to explain the delay. Roy did not turn up, thus the non-bailable warrants with an order to appear before the courts on March 4, 2014. Next, I will share with you about limitation and power of SEBI. One of the major criticism against the SEBI Act was it did not provide SEBI with a sufficient power. The government, particularly the Finance Ministry, has an unnecessarily constrictive hold on SEBI, which makes a regulator extremely susceptible to political interference for three main reasons. First, although SEBI has the right to create a rules and regulation by which capital market abides, it does not have the right to implement them without the approval of the federal government. Arguably, the Finance Ministry may have of the federal frameworks of market regulations, and it can have the power to make recommendations. The process of obtaining the government authorization arguably cause needless delay and result in a watered down version of the rules being implemented. Secondly, SEBI still not have the power to prosecute without the consent of governments. Its power are restricted to recommending action to the government, rendering it unable to take direct action against any errant company. This is a major reason why the Sahara versus SEBI war drags on for as long as it did, where SEBI allowed to persuade without having to constantly answer to the government. The Sahara investor frauds would have been an open and shut case. SEBI must have the independent power to prosecute government interference like the Securities Exchange Commissions in the United States. Finally, and the most importantly, the appointment process of the member of SEBI is flawed. The board has 8 members. The chairman, who the dominance by the central government, one a member from the Reserve Bank of India, 2 officials from the Finance Ministry, and 5 remaining members who are recommended by the union government. The fact the Finance Ministry is directly or indirectly compromise the legitimacy of SEBI as an independent, unbiased watchdog. A public interest regulation bill challenging the legitimacy of this appointment process has been filed in the Supreme Court. Why did SEBI ask Sahara to refund the money? The answer is SEBI asked Sahara to refund investors because it feels Sahara was raising money in violations of capital raisings and certain section of the Companies Act. SEBI found that under the guise of the OFCD, the company was running an extensive banking activity without conforming to regulatory disclosure and investor protects norms pertaining to public issue. The second question is, what is Sahara justifications? Okay, the answer is Sahara challenged SEBI order saying the capital market regulator did not have any jurisdiction over the group's companies since they were not listed. The courts dismissed Sahara petitions, also holding it up for not complying with this order. And the third question is, what order did Sahara not comply with? The answer is the court directed Sahara to furnish detail of the OFCDs it had issue including subscriptions and refund within 10 days and submit this to SEBI. It also gives Sahara 90 days to deposit roughly the money. SEBI, which was given power to freeze Sahara account, attached properties. Sahara has repeatedly missed deadline to comply with the Supreme Court's order. Its claim the total money due is only 5,200 as a balance amount has already been repaid. SEBI meanwhile told the court that while it had begun the refund process, it could trace money of Sahara investor as details submitted by Sahara were not in the prescribed format, with address and other details missing in some cases. The lesson I learned from Sahara case is this case highlight the issue of intelligence gatherings and coordinations among different financial sector regulators. The controversial money raising operation follow a ban on Sahara pra-banking activities by the Reserve Bank of India in 2008. SEBI was, however, only come to the regulator for a legal public issue. The level of interaction between the different financial sector regulation is clearly insufficient. The only regulator forum for interactions, the Financial Stability and Development Council (FSDC), concentrates on macro-prudential matter. More active coordination is needed at the grassroots level. Lastly, in my opinion, from Sahara case, Sahara misdeeds are considered as a eye-opener in several respects about the uncurtainly dealing inside the corporate house, and it brings into being the needs for protecting the interests of several million investors who invest their hard-earned money in such socially responsible corporations. SEBI proved the effective machinery in tackling the case to an extent, but still it has a limitation of regulating unlisted company in India. The reason for such scandal are several, including lack of transparency, weak provision, political nexus, and above all, ignorance of investor. In the like of Sahara case, it is the responsibilities of the government and its various agencies to protect the interests of investors and nation, as well through putting in place necessary provision in accordance with a changing requirement of market. Okay, that's all for me for Sahara case. Enjoy watching. Thank you.
The Supreme Court has summoned Sahara Chief Subroto Roy to the court on the 28th of February. Vaidyanathan joining us at this point. Vaidyanathan, what is the court saying?
Court basically, this is a very old case. Subroto Roy's Sahara scheme, the finance scheme was termed illegal by the SEBI, and after that, in 2012, Sahara was asked to pay by the Supreme Court around 25,700 crores. But till date, they were paid only around 15,000 crores as the principal amount. This case was going on for a long time. Today, when the case was taken up, Chief Justice Bench clearly told Sahara's chief's lawyer saying that this order was passed in 2012 and the amount was to be paid within 6 months from the date of the order. Now it's 2019. Number of installments have been given to you, time has been given to you, nothing has been done, and you have paid only 15,000 crores. So this means if you are not able to obey the order, then law will take its own course. So he has summoned the Sahara chief on the 28th of February. So law will take its own course here means he may even be sent to jail. It depends on the day, because last time Sahara chief was summoned to the court and he was sent to jail directly because he committed a contempt of court and he didn't obey the order. So same thing for not obeying the Supreme Court order for repaying that money to the subscribers. He has been summoned on 28th of February. So on that day, it will be known what happens to him, whether he will go to jail or something else will happen.
All right, Vaidyanathan, thanks very much for those details.